So today I'll be doing a video discussing the Demon King all forms and why you guys need to be excited for all the forms for the Demon King, because unless you guys have been living underneath the rock, skipping episodes, or just doing any other weird things that you shouldn't be doing with 7 Deadly Sins of the new season, then you guys should know that the Demon King has just been revealed, and unless you guys haven't been watching it, you guys would know that this character is going to be super hyped. So I had to do a video discussing all of his forms. Now, like I said, the Demon King was just revealed in the latest episode of 7 Deadly Sins, or at least the latest episode as the time of this recording, because I believe we're going to get another episode of that greatness tomorrow. But no, in all seriousness, with the Demon King just being revealed, what if I told you that he had multiple different forms other than his current one that he showed us, and all of his forms are stronger than the ones that we have previously seen? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into all of his forms. And his first form is his current one, and I guess you could call it his base form, which is the old Demon King. Yes, this is the older version of the Demon King, because this is him when he's out of his prime, and we've seen that the story of 7 Deadly Sins is basically the Demon King wanting Meliodas' body because he doesn't have a good vessel. Well, this is why, because we see that his current form is very old, and it doesn't mean that he's not broken still, because he still is overpowered, but we know that he's just not at full power in his current form. But we saw the things that he could do. He was still cursing people, destroying people with one hit. Like, even though he's old, he still is pretty strong. And speaking of the old Demon King, we got discussing without his armor, because yes, this is the first time that we actually got to see his face or anything, and we've seen the emphasis on how old he is. I mean, we saw he was wrinkly, he was balding, like his let's just say that the son's traits did not clearly come from his father. But no, in all seriousness, the Demon King without his armor showcases how strong he really is without his full power, and it really does make you realize that if he was in his prime, he would definitely be a problem. And speaking of a problem, we gotta discuss the Demon King in Purgatory, because we know that at one point in the series, he was the ruler of Purgatory. Now, I'm not gonna spoil it for anime onlys, but just know that he had to watch over the realm of Purgatory, and that's when he revealed a super, and I mean super important character, and he was strong enough to last there for over thousands of years. And we saw what Purgatory did to Bond. Obviously, we know that the Demon King is a demon, and Purgatory is made for demons. It's not really made for humans. But the fact that he was able to stand there when we seen even Meliodas himself said that the best demons, even some of the strongest demons, can't last there, goes to show you how strong the Demon King truly is. And speaking of the Demon King, I guess we gotta discuss the spiritual Demon King. Yes, I know that sounds weird because we say spiritual and Demon King, but no, in all seriousness, we know the Demon King, he has an ability that allows you to visit people spiritually. Yes, he did that to both Meliodas and Zeldris, and this form, it makes him significantly weaker. Like, he's not allowed to use his full power as he is inside the outside world, but before he begins possessing somebody, he has to take on this spiritual form, and yes, actually win a battle with them before he could gain full control. And we know he's able to shapeshift into many different forms while he's in the spiritual world, and we saw he was able to turn to Meliodas, Zeldris, Gelda. Like, the spiritual Demon King, even though it's not his full power and he's significantly weaker, I mean significantly weaker, basically if you have a stronger will than him, then you'll be able to beat him in his spiritual form. But we still do see all the spooky powers that he does have, so the spiritual Demon King is definitely not something to sleep on. And then we have to discuss the Demon King Meliodas, because this is the first time we see the Demon King possess anybody. And all I gotta say is, number one, somebody sign this man to a team, because the man went from being 5'4" to 6'3". But no, in all seriousness, Demon King Meliodas is definitely the hype for 7 Deadly Sins Season 4. And I can honestly say that once he's finally revealed, this will definitely be the greatest moment in all of Battle Shonen. So mark your calendars, because if Demon King possessed Meliodas is shown in Season 4, then this will truly be the best season of 7 Deadly Sins Season 4. But what if I told you that the Demon King actually did possess Zeldris, and that was his first form in terms of possessing Zeldris? Because we see that the Demon King in his new vessel, which was Zeldris, he actually did obtain a new form, and we saw that unlike Meliodas' first transformation, he still did retain a lot of Zeldris' looks. We saw that he killed off a very important character. I'm not going to spoil it again, but once he just awakened his demon power, we saw how strong the Demon King was as he was possessing Zeldris in his first form. But then we even get a look at his second form, because we see that the Demon King, once he actually did gain a little bit of his power back, he was able to go ham. We saw that he had an eyeball in the middle of his stomach. It looked pretty badass, and we saw he was strong enough to take on Meliodas and Elizabeth. Yes, these are Meliodas and Elizabeth at awakened power. Elizabeth with her new god, all I'm gonna call her is Bloodstained Ellie. But no, in all seriousness, we know that the Demon King in his third form, it wasn't really too impressive, or rather should I say, we didn't really get to see too much of it, only because it came right after his second form, and that battle between Meliodas and the Demon King and Elizabeth, it was cut short because that's when the Sins interfered. And the Demon King's third form, when he is possessing Zeldris, was the Demon King at full power, and at this point we see that the whole resemblance is completely gone. I mean, he gets longer hair, even his body frame, it resembles Escanor in a sense. Like, we see that he's able to go toe to toe with Escanor, and it took all of the Sins at full power in order to defeat him. Like, let that sink in. The Demon King's fifth and final form was strong enough that it took Meliodas to finally go into assault mode. And on top of that, the size of him, pause. All I'm going to say is that he's bigger than any other season or any other creature that you ever see from any season of 7 Deadly Sins. Like, let's just say his final form is crazy. And in order to defeat him, it took a full counter from a combined 7 Deadly Sins attack. Like, let's just say it was a father-son combo. But no, in all seriousness, the Demon King in his final form, even though a lot of people were saying that he looked like he was going to be trash and a horrible final villain, let's just say that his final form definitely did shut everybody up, because it did not disappoint and his power was off the chart. Hell, he was the size of a freaking continent. But the final form of the Demon King that we have yet to see is the Demon King when he's young and in his prime, because we know that after his battle with the Sins, we clearly seen how broken the Demon King is. And in fact, we actually got to see a face-to-face between Meliodas and the Demon King, and it made me start thinking, if he was actually younger and in his prime, how much stronger would he be? Because we've seen the only reason why he's weaker and older is because of old age. So I'm interested in seeing what was the Demon King like before he actually had Meliodas and Zeldris. So I do think that a Demon King in his young and prime form will definitely be the strongest character in all of entertainment history. Comment what you guys think down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.